Seems like whether it's one person that's not doing as well in the lineup batting, it seems like it's someone else this time. Torrey Rocha with the 3-run bomb, probably in the farthest part of the park mainly. So how is it good seeing whether it's one person or other? It just seems like someone is stepping up at the plate. It just seems like it's happening all the time these days.
You know, that's what's great right now. You know, 1 through 9, we don't have a weak bat in our lineup, and we're doing really, really well. And what helps is that it carries throughout the entire team. When you know you're not going to hit 1,000. You know, it's just not going to happen in our game, but you can get pretty close. And you know, if one person makes an out, we know that the person behind them is going to have a quality at bat.
And I was talking with Coach Edwards yesterday, and he said that it's a little bit different for Olivia because usually she's just used to striking out 12 or 13. Not so much. Now they put it in play, and now the infield goes, oh wait, she didn't strike her out. Maybe I got to throw out at first base. A little bit of a difference in the past couple games.
Well, you know what's happening is that teams are hitting against Olivia once she gets 2 strikes on them, like 47. So the team goes in saying we have to attack early. We have to put the ball in play early because they know once they get 2 strikes, you know, the chances of putting the ball in play are pretty slim. So teams are more aggressive against her. They're attacking early in the count, which is why her pitch count might have been around 53 today.
So going into next week and going into the season moving forward, mainly you guys are 11-0 in CAA play now. How are you going to keep your team positive as more positive as usual? But the main thing is not to get too complacent. How are you going to keep them as less complacent as possible?
We have to keep playing our game. You know, our game, solid defense. We can't be giving up 3-4 errors a game. We know that. It doesn't matter who we're going to play. We have to be aggressive. We have to attack the ball offensively, and we have to have good pitching. You know, we do those things, then we're going to be successful at the end of the game. We don't do one of those 3 components, then, you know, we're rough for a battle. We talked about yesterday with the errors that we made defensively, it's like in basketball, good shooting overcomes poor defense. Well, good hitting overcomes poor defense. So we are fortunate enough that sometimes we're getting those double-digit hits and we're able to overcome some of the errors we're making, but we know when we get into that conference championship, we hopefully get into regionals, in those big games, we can't afford to make those errors.
And a lot of time in the stat sheet, you look at Erin Wade, she might have had a bad day, but you take a look at the errors, and sometimes, obviously, she puts a lot of pressure on herself to really take the game herself, but the defense sometimes doesn't really support her. It's kind of weird that Olivia Galati gets a lot more support defensively. Obviously, we talked about the strikeouts as well, but just talk about what you've seen from Erin Wade so far.
And you know what happens is that you have a strikeout pitcher like Olivia Galati, so she has a little bit more movement than Erin. Erin's not a strikeout pitcher, and she knows that. So the ball's going to be put in play more often. So you have Olivia who might strike out double digits, so less balls are put in play, and they're not hit as hard when Olivia throws. They're going to be hit a little bit harder with Erin, and yes, we do have to step up and make more plays, but that does put more pressure on the defense. So it comes twofold, that the defense has to know, yes, we're going to see more, we have to make more plays, the ball's going to be hit harder, we have to play a little bit harder, and sometimes, you know, the ball's just hit a little bit too hard for them to be able to adjust.